Hey everyone, Jason Weckerle here. Today we have a Halloween video for you. Before we get out fishing, we're gonna take a tour of the Belle Cemetery here in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, a place that's notorious for paranormal activity supposedly, ghost stories, stuff like that. And these stories go back almost 100 years in this place. There was a couple tragic stories here in this cemetery that we're about to tell you, and just show you around, tell you some of the history. This is a really beautiful historic cemetery here in Wisconsin. Before we get out fishing later in the video, we're going to show you guys around and tell you some of these spooky stories. Alright, so to get started, right here is the spot where some of the most notorious paranormal stories take place due to this statue right here. This statue was carved out by an Italian artist in Vermont back in the 1940s, and it was placed here shortly after William Nethusius died. This is known as the Nethusius statue, but rumor has it that if you try to steal the coins that people leave in her hands, you could be cursed with blindness and bad luck. They say that her hands and her eyes bleed, actually drip with blood sometimes. There's been rumors that she's actually gotten down off of this statue and walked right into the lake, drowning herself, because everyone believes that a person named Mary was buried here and she drowned herself in the lake. That's not a true story. She never drowned herself in the lake, and a lot of people like to leave little ornaments, flowers, everything. It's a beautiful statue, really huge statue. The thing has to weigh probably about 10 tons. That's the Nethusius statue, the famous statue here in Belle Cemetery. Now, we're gonna tell you a story about a grave, a tragic story that's not too far from here. In fact, I'm looking right at it right now, and that's the story of the Valentine grave. So let's take you over there and show you that. Now we're at the grave of the Valentine family, and this grave has a very tragic story linked to it. The Valentine family were the most wealthy family here in Oconomowoc, Wisconsin back in their time. And they owned a house out on Oconomowoc Lake. And in fact, there's an island on that lake with a house on it right now. And they used to have a boathouse on this island. It's over by Valentine Road on Oconomowoc Lake. And they had a huge mansion over there. This mansion was in postcards, the whole 9 yards, but they were very well-known people, and they were even friends with the Rockefeller family, the famous Rockefellers. But a tragic story occurred here one day back in 1917, and a man named Julius Brandt died right here when they were trying to install this big statue. A truck was backing up, trying to lower the statue onto the foundation, and it broke. It fell on top of Julius, crushing him to death. And a witness had to run over because there was people on this side of the tombstone that didn't see it happen, and he came running over screaming that he just witnessed this guy die, this guy Julius Brandt, because this tombstone right here literally crushed him to death. This tombstone weighs 12 tons, and rumor has it people see the ghost of a man. They don't know if the man is Patrick Valentine or if it's the ghost of Julius Brandt. I would imagine if his life was suddenly taken right here, it'd be the ghost of Julius Brandt. But looking at this tombstone, you would never suspect what happened here back in 1917, over 100 years ago, that this tombstone took a man's life. And that man is buried right here in the cemetery, and we'll show you the grave of Julius Brandt. Right here is the grave of Julius Brandt. This is the man who died being crushed by the Valentine grave that's across the cemetery. It happened on June 20th, 1917, and it was a tragic accident. It's not every day somebody dies in a graveyard, but rest in peace to Julius Brandt. We'll tell you a few more ghost stories before we get out fishing. All right, now we're in a location here in Belle Cemetery known as Baby Hill. The reason they call it Baby Hill is because they buried a lot of children in this location up on top of this hill. And there's still children getting buried here today, tragically. That's really sad because they never got to live their life, never got to experience their childhood, growing old. And there's a lot of ghost stories surrounding this hill. Rumor has it that people that live in this neighborhood next to the cemetery have said that they've heard the sound of children playing at night, the sound of babies crying, all sorts of spooky things like that. And whether or not those stories are true, what is true is that this hill is absolutely tragic and makes me really sad just standing here. I mean, I'm looking around and I see graves right up to the present day of children that never got to live their lives. So rest in peace to all these children, and let's get on to the next ghost story. Now we're going to tell you another story, a tragic story, about two children that died right here, falling through the ice on the lake back in 1943. A 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, Ronald and Betty Hintz, walked out on top of snow-covered ice one day, over 5 feet of water, and they fell through the ice about 60 feet from shore. And unfortunately, they weren't able to be pulled out of the lake on time, and they lost their lives very young. Another tragic story here in Belle Cemetery. And out on that lake, I mean, it's a little haunting to think about the fact that these people lost their lives in this lake, or even right here in this cemetery, like the man Julius Brandt that got crushed by the tombstone. But they're buried right where they basically passed away. It's really tragic, and I mean, it's very creepy to think that this lake has taken so many lives, and a lot of those lives were the lives of children. So it's really unfortunate and very sad. Rest in peace to them. Now we're at the site of our next spooky tale. Right here is a statue of a woman holding an anchor. And there's a rumor that a woman who was distraught after losing her husband, she took herself in a rowboat and wrapped an anchor rope around herself and threw herself in the lake, drowning herself. Now that story is not true at all, but the real story about a drowning did occur. And that happened to this woman over here, Laura. Laura was ice skating out on the lake with 3 friends when they fell through the ice. They skated into an open hole that wasn't marked, and all the other people survived aside from Laura, unfortunately. Rest in peace to Laura. But let's continue our little ghost story adventure here now. Alright folks, I'm going to tell you a story about this tree right here. One day, my wife and I were fishing in the river right here, and we heard cracking, and all of a sudden, I look up the hill, and I think I got it on video. I'll show you guys in a second, but this tree broke when we were here fishing. But this tree right here is older than the cemetery, older than probably the town itself. It's got to be about a 400-year-old tree by the looks of it. And if you look at it, this is me standing right next to it. I mean, I've never seen a tree in Wisconsin as thick as this one right here. This is absolutely insane. So you guys should have heard this thing when it broke and fell in the water. You can see this branch right here. It sounded like an absolute explosion. But we kind of joked, my wife and I kind of joked that maybe it was the ghosts. Maybe they were warning us, don't fish in our cemetery. But I'll show you guys that video right now. Dude, a tree branch falling. Holy crap. Imagine if we were standing under that. Oh, I didn't get that on camera, but this tree branch completely just fell in the water. Hopefully that wasn't a sign from the spirits. Get the hell out of here and don't fish here. Alright folks, before we tell you some more ghost stories, we're gonna try doing a little fishing down here in the river. We've seen a couple panfish swimming around. And a couple times in the past I've caught a few pike out of here. So you never know what you'll catch. It's a little hole, deep hole right over here by the bridge. My wife and I are thinking about doing some night fishing tonight at some southern Wisconsin lakes. Try for some walleyes, maybe throw a musky rod around, I don't know. Tried at the Fox River earlier this morning for pike and muskies and had a couple bites but didn't catch anything. Enjoyed a beautiful sunrise. Did you want to try walleye fishing tonight, babe? Yeah. I'll probably bring the musky rod too. You never know. I'm gonna check out what's back here. So leave a comment down below, folks. If you guys believe in ghosts, have any ghost stories, just leave a comment down below. Have any fishing stories, or maybe a fishing ghost story or something, let me know. I could tell you guys a few creepy things that have happened to me in the past. Well, for one, my wife and I, when we first met, started a paranormal ghost hunting team. And we were actually being called into people's businesses, their homes, and most things we could debunk, and there's explanations for why they thought they were being haunted. Pipes rattling in a wall, bad electrical, stuff like that. But there is a few occurrences that left us scratching our heads and left us believing in the paranormal. And one of those occurrences was during an EVP session at Chance's Restaurant over in Rochester, Wisconsin. The place was built, I believe, in 1841. It had ties to the Underground Railroad because they had tunnels in the basement leading out to the Fox River down the road, and they would canoe these slaves up the river and hide them in the basements of the buildings in Rochester. And the building had some ties to the Civil War. It was a brothel, and there is a lot of death in that building. They had a fever outbreak, and they used the upstairs ballroom as a makeshift hospital, and they pretty much had about 14 people die up there, from what the story is told. There was two in the building. One was a Civil War soldier that came back from the war, found out his wife, found out she was and was afraid to tell him what was going on. So she killed herself, and the Civil War soldier, finding this out, just pulled out a pistol and shot himself. So tragic deaths. I believe someone was hung outside the building for stealing horses or something. But anyways, those are the stories of the deaths on the property. But what happened during this EVP session, that's electronic voice phenomena, a group of us were sitting there in the downstairs dining room of Chance's restaurant, and I'm asking questions, and I asked the question, "Are you a woman?" I didn't get any response. And then all of a sudden I asked, "Are you a man?" And a woman's voice came through the audio and went, "No." And it was a woman's voice. Everyone saw me there doing the EVP session. None of us said anything. Can't explain it. It was a very strange thing. But then another EVP we caught there was the sound of an old woman yelling at us to stay back. We opened up this apartment door in the upstairs of Chance's restaurant, right next to the ballroom, and got this EVP that sounded like an old woman going, "Stay back!" And again, none of us said that. There's a group of about 8 people, and, well, I wish I still had those EVPs recorded. This was almost 20 years ago. We were using camcorders. We were using, cassettes or VHS camcorders, basically. I think it was, I can't even remember what kind of cameras they were. They were the smaller cassette tapes, VHS tapes, but we got some of the evidence still on these little tapes. I wouldn't know how to transfer it to digital or whatever, maybe someday, but we had those EVPs, unfortunately, on an audio recorder, and somebody accidentally hit the wrong button and deleted everything off the stupid recorder. Just rookie mistakes. We weren't any professional team or anything, but we never used all the stupid devices people use nowadays, like the spirit boxes and all that horse crap. I mean, I see these people using these word simulators and going, "Oh yeah, that was a response from the spirits." And I mean, the only thing you can really do is take photographs, take video, and do audio recordings. You have to sit there and watch hours and hours of footage. That's the way you ghost hunt. You don't sit there using these cell phone apps. But when Michelle and I were in this cemetery, we did use a cell phone app called Ghost Tube. We were using Ghost Tube. We got some pretty interesting responses here in Belle Cemetery. I'll show you that in a second. The story with it goes is we were walking past this row of graves, and all of a sudden the name Patrick came out, and it turns out the gravestone we were right in front of was the gravestone of a man named Patrick Streeter, a Vietnam War vet. Do we still have that footage?
Yeah.
All right, we'll show you that footage right now real quick. Didn't go off that time.
No.
Just walk this way.
Patrick.
Patrick. That's a new name.
Yeah.
Where are you, Patrick? Thanks for telling us your name.
Hello, Patrick.
Yeah. Oh, there's Patrick. He's right here.
Oh my God. No way.
Is this your grave, Patrick?
All right, that was the footage we got here at Belle Cemetery one time. Very interesting. I mean, I'm not going to say it was paranormal. Who knows? The cell phone camera could have been walking right by that grave, and the AI technology could have picked up on the name on that grave. I don't know how it all works. I'm very skeptical when it comes to all of this, but one thing I know for certain is Chance's restaurant had some things going on. We got photographic evidence there of like mists floating in the air. Can't explain it. Almost looked smoky, but none of us smoked and it wasn't cold. So can't explain it. I was the one who took the picture and I don't smoke. So, well, yeah, that's the story of our ghost hunting adventures, but we're not catching anything. Let's go move down here and see if we can find some fish over by the bridge again. But another ghost story I can tell you guys, I have witnesses to everything that has ever happened to me, and the things I've had happen were so strange, it really shakes me up thinking about it. But one time my brother and I were staying at a friend's house up north. We're sitting there watching TV, and of all things, we're watching a ghost hunting show. It was like one of those shows where they show like paranormal videos people send in, and we're literally talking about ghosts. My brother Jesse and me. My buddy Tim is sleeping, and out of nowhere, the lampshade on this giant porcelain lamp moves on its own. It kind of tilts. My brother and I looked at each other like, what the heck? And the whole entire lamp exploded into a bunch of tiny little pieces. Like the porcelain bottom, boom, just absolutely exploded. And my brother and I look at each other, we're like, what the hell? And it was so loud, it woke my buddy Tim up. He comes out, what the hell's going on? What was that? And we're like, dude, your freaking lamp just exploded on its own. And told him the story, and he was just like, oh, I've never had anything haunted happen here, but we're like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, kind of weird sleeping in that house that night. We were staying up there fishing with them and everything. One last story I'll tell you that really blew my mind. If you guys live in Milwaukee and have ever been to St. Francis, a suburb of Milwaukee, there's a seminary there, a Catholic seminary called Seminary Woods. It's a forest. There's a graveyard in the middle of this forest that goes back to like the 1860s or so. Very old graveyard. And it's had a lot of occult, Satanism, just black magic activity, animal sacrifices, sadly. All sorts of just stupid people messing with the gravestones, vandalizing it, and a lot of paranormal activity occurs there, and I'll vouch for it because my friends and I, a bunch of us, went back in the woods in the middle of the night, and we used to just kind of try to see the ghosts and everything. We were, teenagers at the time, going back there at night, trying to capture whatever happens, and this one night, this weird occurrence happened. I walked over by this memorial that has a statue of Holy Mary in it. It looks kind of like a miniature cave, like an altar. And I got this sick feeling to my stomach. Felt like I suddenly caught the flu. So I walked back over by my group of friends and I tell them, I'm feeling really sick. I think I might have to go. We might have to leave, and all of a sudden, all the crickets were chirping in the woods. They all shut up at the same time. They just shut off. And we started to kind of hear this zapping sound in the trees, almost like electricity. It was really weird. And all of a sudden, we heard this woman howl like this. And it sounded like it was all around us. It was super loud, and it almost sounded like it swooped over us, like the sound, like it went from one end of the graveyard to the other. Everyone's freaking out. Let's go, let's get the hell out of here. What the hell was that? Everyone's flustered, and I start going, do that again, make that sound again. Come on, do it. And this is pissing my friends off. They're like, Jason, stop. Don't make the thing do that again. Like, shut up, dude. Shut up. Because I wanted to hear this happen again, but everyone was scared, and we ended up leaving after that. But those are the three or four paranormal things that have happened to me in my life. You guys can see over the bridge right here, crystal clear water. Seeing a few panfish around, but nothing big and sassy swimming around yet. Hope you guys enjoyed my ghost stories. Like I said, I've got witnesses to every one of them, so I'm not crazy.
Sure, Dan.
Weird things happen sometimes we can't explain, and it doesn't seem to happen to everyone, but most people in this world believe in ghosts, so I guess I don't feel too weird. Alright, we're gonna fish next to the giant tree I showed you guys earlier in the video. Got one. What is that? Is that a northern? What is that? Oh, little northern in the cemetery. There we go. Oh, that could have ended ugly. But man, so there are fish around. Oop. Little graveyard northern. Baby snot rocket. Aww.
Cute.
Ugh.
Maybe you'll get another one.
There we go. Oh, he's right here. What the heck? He shot all the way back here. I threw him out there and he swam the wrong way. Let's see if we can give him a poke. Swim that way. That way. There we go. He'll find his way. I think. Come on, man. You're embarrassing me. You're embarrassing yourself. You don't know where your home is. There we go. I've seen a couple bayed dogfish swimming in here one day. Oh, see that?
Yeah.
That was a fish.
5 minutes later.
Well, just caught myself another little, even smaller than the last one. Holy crap, how did you just hook yourself?
Oh no, you might need pliers.
Yeah. Oh, these guys get dangerous.
Almost got him. There we go.
Oh, God. Alright. There we go. Alright, he's gonna pull the same crap. Look at this.
Is he? He's back.
There he goes. Alright everyone, we're gonna take you to the final destination in this video. That's a supposed haunted location and the former location of the original Belle Cemetery. And we'll tell you all about that in a second here. Alright everyone, now we're over at Fowler Lake Park, which is the location of the former Belle Cemetery. In the early 1800s, they were burying people in this location that's now a beautiful park with a fishing pier, a little walking trail over here, a playground. But there's still unmarked graves left behind in this park. They didn't dig up everybody, and even when they did dig up people, they actually buried a lot of these people in unmarked graves in the newer, well, I say newer cemetery. It's well over 100 years old, but the location where it's at today, there's unmarked graves there too, and rumor has it there's even mass graves where they didn't know where to put people, so they just put their bones and their body parts all into one grave. But there's a lot of paranormal stories that come from this park. Supposedly people see shadow figures that disappear right before their eyes. They hear strange voices. They get very strange feelings, like eerie feelings or sick feelings, or the chill up the back of their neck. And I mean, if it's true that people care about, like when we die, if it's true that if we disturb graves, we get all pissed off. I mean, when I die, I don't give a crap what people do to my grave. You can ground me up, feed me to the dogs for all I care. But I mean, some people really take their death, their grave, their memory seriously, and if there's any unmarked graves, there's got to be some unhappy spirits around here. So if you guys believe in this sort of thing, I mean, if you guys are into ghost hunting, anything like that, you guys can sit there and come out to this cemetery, come out to this park, see if you can capture any evidence, whatever. But those are the stories from here at Fowler Park. There's still unmarked graves here today, so that's a little eerie that people who come to this park to enjoy it, they don't even know they're walking over random people that they don't even know are buried there. So a little weird, but I'm gonna try to catch a few more fish for the rest of this video. I'm gonna get out tonight and see if I can get some walleyes, maybe catch a muskie or something. So stay tuned.
1 eternity later.
All right, now we're gonna get out and cast for some walleyes, pike. I'm gonna throw my musky rod around again. Hopefully catch one of those, but it's about 1 o'clock in the morning right now and we're getting back out. Really late night fishing. Hopefully we don't get haunted by any spirits or anything. And now we're gonna go try to catch a few fish. All right. Threw this Kitech down. Got ourselves a nice walleye. I came out casting for muskies, but I brought my walleye rod and looks like it paid off with a keeper. Caught this right off of a bolt launch, and I was just throwing a Kitech swing impact on a 16th ounce jig head. I guess I caught some dinner. It's a nice fish. Let's see if we can catch a few more. What do we have here? Mr. Pike, a jumper. First pike of the night. Just an average one, but good fighter, especially on a medium light action rod. Just don't like when these little ones bite though, because they tear your soft plastics up really bad, as you can see with their teeth. Ah, there we go. He's unhooked, but his teeth won't let go. See that? Ah, give me back my bait. There we go. Nice little fish. Throw him back. Hopefully get another walleye or something to add to the other one we caught. Like kind of pikey. It's a pike. You know, these things are dangerous with these treble hooks. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's why. Slime ball. Average northern pike for southern Wisconsin. Bye-bye. I was casting a Rapala. Oh, whoa. Got a freaking attitude. Oh. Just casting a size F11 Rapala original in their, I think their color is called Vampire or something, but it's like a black and silver, black and chrome, kind of a goldish color. But alright, stop with the attitude now. But there's the color right there. I like black and white and black and silver the best for these Rapalas. Should have a pliers. Pliers is all the way back by my bag and I'm being lazy, but there we go. Got nice little pike again. Little guys. Oh, he's got an attitude. There he goes. Alright, another pike on the opposite side of the bridge we were just fishing. What the heck? This one's barely hooked. You can flop off if you want to. Nah, because I know I'd rather you handle me. Where's your big mama and daddy, your grandparents? That's what I want to catch. There we go, another little snot rocket. What do I have here? It's like a fat rock bass. There's a different species, folks. Little fat rock bass. Even they bite at night. Well, Michelle just ran to go get us some breakfast at McDonald's. It's really early in the morning. They just started serving breakfast. Never knew that 24-hour McDonald's starts serving breakfast at 2 o'clock. I was craving some French fries and a couple McChickens, but I guess I'm gonna have to go with an egg McMuffin and a hash brown. But while she runs and does that, I'm gonna fish solo right now for a little bit. So let's see if we can catch a few more fish.
5 minutes later.
All right, there's a nice walleye. Oh, that's why I have a net, right? Trying to pull them up. Bingo, it's a nice fish. Just caught that on a little white 3.5-inch Kitech. There it is. All right, folks, got ourselves a nice 18-inch keeper. That one's gonna flay up and fry up nicely for my wife and me tonight for dinner, but we're gonna see if we can catch ourselves a few more before the night's over. It's actually really early morning right now. 28 degrees, my fingers and toes are numb. But that's a nice fish. All right, what do we have here? Mr. Pike. A jumper. Oh man. There we go. Why use the net when we have it, right? I mean, geez. Give me that. Give me back my lure. There we go. Yeah, it's so cold out I can barely talk right now. I'm like, give me back my lure. Whew. Hopefully he didn't scare everything else out of here, but hopefully we get a few more walleyes. Alright, what do we have here? Another gator. Sorry folks, it's very hard to film at night sometimes because of the lighting. But we got ourselves another little gator. Mr. Pike. Not a bad one. About average for southern Wisconsin. He is icy cold to the touch, so if he was a little bit bigger, he would have flayed up nicely. They have to be 26 inches, but let's hope some more walleyes bite tonight. Got a couple, but it's been tough. Luckily, I just checked my knot. Always check your knot, folks. Big fish will break you off, so gotta retie, get back to fishing. Alright, still waiting for Michelle to get that McDonald's. Wish it was Taco Bell. They're not open at this time of the morning. Caught ourselves another pike. Very pretty colors on that one. But we're gonna get that one back. They all seem to be the same size tonight. Where are the big ones? Where's my McDonald's? Hopefully Michelle's back soon. But just catching it on that black and silver. I think this color is called Vampire, but 18-pound titanium leader, not too kinky leader. F11 Rapala original, 10-pound braid. Those little pike are fun, but let's get some more. So all I'm doing with this F11 Rapala is I'm throwing it out there as far as I can. I'm just giving that bait a steady, slow to medium retrieve. Every once in a while I'll give it a pop, stop it, and then I'll keep it going again. Sometimes that little pause just kind of triggers them to bite, but nothing fancy. They're just going right after it, swimming past them. But all these little babies are biting. I think the biggest one we caught so far is maybe 25 inches. which is small for a pike. But there's some 30s, 35 inches around. They're a lot of fun on this light tackle, folks. That's all that matters, is if you're having fun. You don't always have to catch giant fish to have fun. If you use light, oh, got one. There we go. If you use lighter tackle, oh, that one's fighting. What is this? Is it it's a pike. Thought it was a walleye for a second. But you don't have to catch big fish to have fun. If you use light tackle, everything fights. So another dinky pike. Fun though. I'm just waiting for my wife to get back with our McDonald's so we can eat some breakfast. I'm sure they have her waiting forever, cooking it fresh. Seems like everywhere around here is understaffed lately, so it takes forever to get your fast food. It's no longer fast food. It's no longer fast food prices either. Alright everyone, we just made it back home. It's been kind of a really long day. We didn't sleep much today filming this video, and we've been all over the place fishing today. My body is sore. We did a lot of walking. I think we got like 14,000 steps in today, which is crazy. And, well, caught a few walleyes tonight, or a couple walleyes, which we're gonna have for dinner tonight. A friend of ours is coming over. We're gonna have a nice fish fry. Didn't catch any big pike, unfortunately, but they were fun to catch on light tackle, but no giants. Oh well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed all the ghost stories, the history, the spooky tales, history, the paranormal. I mean, I'm really fascinated by that stuff, and I like learning about history. I like hearing about people's experiences with the paranormal. I've experienced things in my life I can't explain, and I have no doubt in my mind that there's things out there that we can't possibly comprehend. So whether you believe it or not, I mean, I go about anything I hear with a skepticism, but I know that there's things going on out there that we can't explain. I'll put it that way. I hope you guys enjoyed this Halloween special. Hope you guys have a happy Halloween and have a safe and fun fishing season. Good luck fishing. Take care.